Good morning, guys. Give me 1 second to pull up my notes here. My name's Ken Bareski. I've lived in Miami Beach now for almost 10 years. You've all heard me speak several times about bicycle issues in this city. What I have to talk about today is unfortunately related to that and has escalated things to an entirely new level. This past weekend on the 4th of July, most of us were celebrating freedom. Unfortunately, I couldn't be a part of that giant party like I'd hoped, for fear of again losing my freedom. This year, I've missed the big 100-year party and countless other events here. My business has suffered considerably, and I continue to face health issues. Why? Because the people who are supposed to protect our freedom steal it instead. I know I'm not alone here, and I decided to share my story today, even though I may likely face further problems as a result of doing this. Earlier this January, for the awful act of riding a bike, our Miami Beach police arrested me, and even though I did not resist at all, they were certainly not gentle about it. They actually seemed to enjoy causing pain, and I've been dealing with shoulder problems ever since. I was arrested by Officer Pereira and 2 others. I was never read my rights. My continued questions asking why I was being arrested were ignored. I found out 4 hours later before my mugshot that the official charge was disorderly conduct, breach of peace. I'd been riding my bike in the Miami heat shirtless. It's kind of brutal out there to ride fully dressed. Even though I had a shirt on me or with me at the time of arrest, MBPD refused to allow me to put one on. I sat in a cold jail cell half naked for 4 hours. While I was in cuffs that were so tight I lost circulation in my wrists, sitting in those horrible things that qualify as chairs, another officer came to move me to a cell. Officer Pereira refused, insisting that I sit there uncomfortably longer. He seemed to enjoy my suffering way too much. On my transport to Dade Jail, still half naked, I wasn't even the only one that was roughed up. Out of 3 prisoners I saw during transport, there was another who was also in pain from his arrest. The next day, the judge had me released from jail, saying there was no probable cause for arrest in the first place. Yet it still took another 3.5 days before I was able to get important business tools back from our police. And when I did, it was not the condition I had left it. My bike, which is how I get to work, was unrideable until I brought it to the shop to get repaired. So my business, how I make my living and live in this city, was shut down for nearly 2 weeks because I rode a bike. And I'm still dealing with a shoulder injury. This is never going to end. I know you all approved cameras on some of the police here, but you need to get them out there now before someone else faces the same or worse than I did, and likely many others have. One of you once said you don't want all cops wearing cameras because sometimes you don't want to see how the sausage is made. Well, when the sausage is made by roughing up the people, you need to know whether you like to or not. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else like to speak? Yep. Okay.